Slingin Dirt with Staley, an in-depth conversation with the drivers themselves about the inner workings of a dirt track racer's world. Dive deep under the helmet and inside the mind of the people who ride the high side, lift that left front wheel, and teeter on the edge of being out of control. New Slingin Dirt with Staley starts now. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is Slingin Dirt with Staley. I'm Alan Staley. And on this week's episode, I catch up with the 2015 ASCS National Rookie of the Year and no stranger to gaining accolades on the racing surface. Driver of the Greenworks Nursery, Christian County Collision, Valley Park Retirement Living, Bybee Lawn Care, number 14K from Nixa, Missouri, Kyle Bellm. Kyle and I talk about how his love of driving formed in the go-kart years and continues today in the 360 sprint car world. While Bellm continues to be a front-runner and points contender year in and year out, there's more to his race team than the stats show. What continues to make KB a fan favorite is his overall off-the-track personality. He's never too busy to take a picture, sign a shirt, or even share some setup knowledge with other drivers. He's just an all-around good guy. On a personal level, Kyle was among one of the first drivers to come and talk to me, welcoming me to the ASCS Warrior region on my own rookie year announcing. And that continues today, stopping by in the pits if nothing than just say hi and to ask me how my week's going. That's just a glimpse of how he lives his daily life. Family, friends, and fun. It seems to be the common thread throughout our conversation on his motivations and future goals. With an upbeat, positive attitude like that, it's no wonder why the Nixa Nightmare has seen such career successes as placing in the top 10 in points nationally twice, winning features on a national, regional, and local level, and even as recently as 2017, Bellm would win 5 races, racking up 18 top 10s along the way. At one point last season, he would see a streak of placing in the top 5 in 10 out of 11 starts. 2018 is shaping up to be another stellar year of accomplishments, having already notched 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s so far this racing season. Hear all his dirt track stories, as well as where Kyle sees his racing program progressing, how he views the other drivers out there on the track, why Dale Jr. just doesn't get enough credit, and more, starting on an all-new Slingin Dirt with Staley right now.
My family was always around it. My dad grew up racing dirt bikes, ran some micros growing up, and I guess, I spent first little bit of my life, watching my dad race, and then my cousin race some go-karts, and so got the itch to do it. Finally begged my dad enough that he bought me a go-kart, and started when I was 8. Been racing ever since. So you started in the go-kart ranks. Where did the progression of your career really take off? Yeah, there's some stepping stones. We started out doing asphalt road course go-karts. Actually is what we started doing, and that kind of died off. It was in Joplin. We had a track that ran every Sunday night, and started doing some dirt go-karts, and then got a micro. And actually, we did some outlaw kart racing. I know, the 500cc outlaw karts got big down by Springfield, and won a championship doing that. And then there was actually 305 sprint cars were in Lebanon, Missouri, and they were kind of big about, probably 2005, 6, 7. I was probably about 16 years old. I got into a 305 and had a little bit of success with that, and then jumped up into a 360 after that. The lake was here, it was back before it had shut down, and raced up here and raced a little bit of the WOW stuff, and just kind of progressed up ever since. Just found a little bit of success in it, and just kept trying to work my way up. A little bit's an understatement there, but you can be humble. It's okay. Why the number, the 14K? Is there any big significance there? No, my dad was 14 back in the day. When actually growing up as a kid, he wasn't 14, but just kind of a favorite number. No big significance behind it. Like I said, my dad used to run it, and so I figured it'd be a good start, and it stuck. It kind of stuck, and then I wanted 14. That's what I always was racing go-karts, but I knew Randy Martin was big 14 stable around here, and I added the letter. Randy's earned that number, so we'll put the K on it, and we'll stick with it. Yep. Any race day rituals, like when you get to the track or before you get here? Don't wear green, anything like that? No, my car's green this year, and I'm not very superstitious about anything. I don't have any really rituals. We're pretty basic. We get to the track and we try to have a good time, and obviously we want to win every night, win as much as we can, but run up front. And we did green this year. I did blue last year, and I really liked it, but I felt like there was a lot of other blues, and I thought, well, heck, everybody else is scared of green. So we'll just go green, and we'll just go with that.
One thing that I do admire, and you kind of hit on it just a little bit, is having fun at the racetrack. And the thing that I always enjoy seeing you at the track, you always got a smile on. You're always laughing, kind of not really goofing off, but having a good time with your competitors and everything. Why do that?
When you start this, that's what it's all about. You do it because it's fun, and it's easy to lose sight, and I'm as guilty as any of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a very competitive person, so I want to win, but, what I found out is if you're having fun, that's probably when you're going to do good. Yeah. So if you can keep it light and you can, it's obviously very serious. You try to have your stuff as prepared as you can, and you try to take it very serious. But at the same time, spend a lot of time and money on this to come out here and it be stressful and it be another job. Sometimes it can be. It's a lot of hard work. But mm-hmm. like I said, the reason why I started doing this is because it's fun, and so mm-hmm. I'm trying to. The day that it stops as being fun for me is the day I'm not going to do it. Right. So. I really enjoy it. I think my family enjoys it, and that's what it's all about. Yeah.
How do you deal with internal fear?
Well, we try to put the safest stuff we can on the car and have the best top-notch safety equipment we can have. But other than that, I guess I just tune it out. I just go out and race my own race, and mm-hmm. figure. Like I said, we'll build the safest piece we can, and then I just race. I don't even really think about it much.
Yeah. Is there anything what goes on in your mind when you're sitting in the staging area? Because you got a push truck behind you. You're all strapped in, belts pulled tight. You're ready to go. Any nerves? What's going on in your head?
You get a little bit of nerves. You just kind of. I always try to give myself a little pep talk. I say a prayer before I go out. Give myself a little pep talk, and once the push truck gets behind you and fires you off, it all goes out the wayside. It's just all too. You don't even. To me, you just it's. You think about it a little bit, but you just it's I don't know, it just seems natural. You just
a reaction.
You just go, you just go. You tune everything else out.
I skirted around the topic a lot, and that's money. Sport's very expensive. Do you have any advice for young drivers coming up through the ranks, trying to land a good sponsorship deal? How do they go about it? What's the best tried and true method that you've found?
We've got some good sponsors on the car, but we could use sponsors. Everybody, it's hard to find sponsors. My piece of advice is just always try to be as professional as you can, and don't try to lose your head, and just try to put on a good image, and treat your fans like you treat your family, and mm-hmm. We couldn't be out here without those people, and it can be discouraging. You get a lot of no's before you get a yes, so mm-hmm. I don't know if I have the best piece of advice on that. Like I said. Sponsors are hard to find, but you just gotta plug away, and you can't be afraid to be told no every now and then. And like I said, you just gotta be professional and represent these businesses that you do get mm-hmm. extremely well, so that maybe some other people would want to
step on. Yeah. Yep. Okay. How much time during the week do you spend working on the car, or does it really all depend on the previous weekend?
It depends a little bit on the weekend. If everything goes smooth and you just have one race weekend, you're in the shop. I'd say a dozen or so hours a mm-hmm. week if everything's good, just getting the trailer and the truck and the car and everything ready and being as prepared as you can. I mean, right. But I work a full-time job, sometimes more, so you mm-hmm. work 40 or 50 hours during the week, and during a bad week you can do the same thing on the race car if you got to build a race car or you tear stuff up. But it can be a second job. It's you got to have these things prepared if you want to beat the best. So mm-hmm. As I say, you can go out and spend about as much time as you want out in the shop. You can always find something that needs done, and mm-hmm. Going to better help you prepare yourself for the next race. Or if something goes wrong at the racetrack, you're prepared to fix it in a timely manner and be ready to go.
Where does the motivation come from? Why keep doing this?
I can tell you, after a rough weekend, you can ask yourself that question a lot, and you think, "Why am I still doing this?" But you go get a win, and the next weekend, and you wonder, you find another hour here or there to make it happen. I don't know. I just, like I said, I enjoy it. It's fun, and I'm very competitive. I want to win. I guess mm-hmm. that's the drive for me to do it. I don't know. That's a good question. I think if you'd ask all the racers, me and my dad always say it's not a sport; it's an addiction. Once it's in, I don't know. It's hard to get out.
Mm-hmm. Is there any specific race where everything just clicked and you thought, I belong here now, I'm a front runner?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's been several nights, we had a really good season last year, but the first national win at Devil's Bowl, that was kind of in 13, that was kind of a big, to win on a national mm-hmm. stage with I think we were about the only car there with a bumper pull trailer, and we had one motor, one car, and beat the best, and that then kind of, I said, we could do this, but just as easy, there's nights that are very humbling that you think, puts you right back in your place a little bit. So racing's very momentum. You can ride a wave of good and you can ride a wave of bad for a long time, and hopefully you can maximize the good waves and minimize the small ones, but the bad ones. So I don't know. I don't know that there was ever just a time that it all clicked, but there's nights where it does, and there's nights where it doesn't.
What's been the highlight of your career? Because, I mean, from an outsider's perspective, winning National Rookie of the Year, that's got to be up there. I mean, you've got a dozen or so wins in the region over the last few years. Is there a moment where you're like, yeah, I did that?
The National Rookie of the Year and doing that first national tour was a really fun thing. I'd really like to still be out there. It's just so hard. To make a living, I have to have a job.
Yeah.
And, until we found unless we would find a really good sponsor that could afford to keep me out on the road and I could, live a little bit off the winnings, but, I would really like to do that still, but, I don't know. The 2 national wins are probably rank up there, and the National Rookie of the Year. That was cool. I don't know. Probably those 2.
5 laps left in the race. Racing is close. Where do you want to be?
Well, sometimes it's better to be in second, but I don't know. I think if you can be in the lead and run your own race, I tend to get through lap traffic pretty good and be in clean air pretty good, so I'd probably rather be leading a few times. Sometimes it's better to be in second. Lap traffic, you can kind of pick your way through and be there, but I'd rather be leading and it be in my control of whether I win it or lose it.
Let's say you are in second. You're coming off turn 4. Slide drop or crossover?
Well, it depends on the position you're in. Probably, I don't know. I mean, probably, like I said, there's so many different scenarios, but probably a slide job. Slide job.
It just looks pretty.
It looks better, yeah.
Competition or camaraderie?
Both. I get along with just about everybody. Yeah. We're all good friends. Once we get on the racetrack, we want to beat each other as bad as anybody. But off the racetrack, I think we're all pretty similar in this region. That we're all kind of, blue collar guys that work during the week and race on the weekends. Right. So we're very similar. Got a lot of similarities, but I enjoy hanging out with this. This is a good crowd of people, and I think a good combination of both is where I would answer that question.
I like that answer. What's your favorite pre-race meal?
I don't really eat much during pre-race. Post-race is Taco Bell for sure. We always try to find a Taco Bell on the way home from the races. So pre-race, I don't know. It's always been I don't eat really. I'll eat like a meal probably 10, 11 o'clock, and then I probably won't eat till after the races, and I don't know why. That's just the way it is.
Favorite post-race beverage?
Busch Light.
There you go. And let's say you leave the track, normal night, 12:30 to even 2:30 in the morning. Casey's might be on the list of places to stop. What's your go-to drink-snack combination?
That's a good question. I love Dr. Pepper. Probably Dr. Pepper and a bag of chips or something like that. Kind of keeps me going up and down the road. If it's real late, sunflower seeds kind of keep you busy and keep you up at night if you're trying to make an all-nighter. So Dr. Pepper. I like White Monsters. Those are good.
Those are good.
But probably Dr. Pepper.
Is there a specific radio station that we're tuning into, a song that gets you in the zone?
I like all different kinds of music. My playlist has anywhere from country to rap to rock, and so I just kind of turn it on and listen to it all.
Whatever plays, it plays. What's your dream car? What do you want to go and, let's say, go get groceries or just kind of cruise around town in? What's the ideal? Money's not an option. Ideal car.
Well, I don't know. I'm work at a body shop, so I kind of like the older cars. I've always wanted like a '61 Lincoln Continental with the suicide doors, big old boat car on the ground with some big wheels and tires on it. I think that'd be pretty cool.
So are we just buying it outright, or are we going to buy one that's in a ditch and fix it up?
If time and money is not an option, I'd rather fix it myself. But if money, you buy one or whatever. I enjoy fixing cars. With racing, it's hard to find time outside of work at the body shop to work on your own cars, because it seems like I'm always working on a race car if I'm not at work. So I would like to build one, but probably be years on down the road. Yeah.
Hollywood is calling. They're making the Kyle Bellm story. Who plays you?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know who would be.
You just gonna play yourself in the movie?
I guess I'd just play myself. There's probably only enough room in the world for one of me, but I don't know. I like a lot of different actors. I think maybe Matthew McConaughey, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
There you go.
We got a couple more questions. Anybody you want to give a shout out to first and foremost? Because, I mean, let's face it, if it wasn't for the friends and the families and everybody that helps out, it wouldn't, in my opinion, it wouldn't be worth it. So anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, my mom and dad, my wife and my little girl, and got another little girl on the way. So probably give a shout out to those guys for putting up with me and getting me started in it. And then, all my sponsors. I got, my dad's body shop, Christian County Collision Repair, Mike at Sure-Built Suspensions. My little cousin Ethan's helping me out this year, so thanks to him. My buddy Cody Crabtree's been helping me out for the last handful of years, so big shout out to him for going up and down the road with me and putting up with me. And Steve Varney, Landscapes Awarded, Greenworks Nursery, Chad Griggs at Valley Park West. Just all the guys that help me get up and down the road, like I said, we're a big family team. Yeah. We all like racing, and so big shout out to my family for putting up with the time and money spent, and supporting me.
Yep. And what's the plans? Like, I know you're thinking about top 10 in points right now. Any thoughts of maybe a point championship, and where do you see yourself in the future of racing?
Well, that's a good question. With a family, I don't know. I'm not doing the national deal, so I guess you could say I'm scaling back. But I'll probably try to do the Warrior deal this year. I think I'm third in points right now on that, and I really don't feel like we've caught our stride quite yet this year. We've struggled a little bit. So I hope tonight's the night we change that around. We've had one podium, one top 5 this year, and typically we try to finish the top 5 every night. Yeah. We seem to have pretty good success with that, so we need to get back in our rhythm of doing that, and I think we'll have a chance at maybe fighting Miles for a championship here. But need a shout out to Miles. He used to travel up and down the road with me and help me out a little bit, and I did forget one more, Brett Bybee Lawn Care. He's been with me from the beginning and helped me out a bunch, and so big shout out to him and his family.
Mm-hmm. And the final question is kind of the staple of the show. Who is your Mount Rushmore of racing? It can be all NASCAR, all dirt, blend of both, throw some Formula One in there if you want to. However you want to do it, your top 4 drivers in your mind. Doesn't have to be the best, just your 4 favorites.
I think it's hard to bet against Kyle Larson. I enjoy watching him race. He can race anything in the country and succeed at it. I think Kyle Larson. Tony Stewart's another one of those guys that has to be thrown in the mix for sure. He can dirt, late model, sprint car, NASCAR, IndyCar. He can do good. Let's see, those 2 for sure. I was a fan of Dale Earnhardt Jr. because I just felt like he had a lot on his plate, and I like him as a person. Maybe not the best race car driver in the world, but Dale Jr. is
as a person. He's just
like
cool.
A cool dude.
Yeah.
Chris Bell, obviously, right now too, has got to be thrown in the mix. He's just like Larson and Tony Stewart. He can race anything. I think he's got a lot of big things in his future to come.
All right, buddy. That's about all the questions I got for you right now. I really appreciate you sitting down, taking the time, talking to me here at Lake Ozark Speedway for the weekend. And good luck tonight, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hopefully, we're talking to you later tonight in Victory Lane.
That sounds like a plan, buddy. Thank you.